guys, so we are back with another fun hosting vlog. In the last like 2 weeks, 3 of my friends' birthdays have happened, and so we all decided that we were gonna like bunch their birthday parties up together and do, as you can see the banner behind me, a sunny day market. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing like the trendy little Sunday farmers markets with your friends. I think it's absolutely adorable. One of the girls it's for her birthday, she's like, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be so cute? All of us can bring like a homemade item for each person. That's a way to like celebrate our birthdays, because it's like you're gift giving to everyone, but everyone gets a gift. So that's what we're doing. I think it's gonna be so much fun. My item, I think, is going to be, I went to one a few weeks ago for my friend's, her sister hosted it, and I did homemade pasta, but I ran out of time to let it dry, and then I also miscalculated making homemade pasta for 13 people. It's a lot of pasta. So I was like, I'm gonna take a step back and I'm gonna do something a little bit easier, and I'm going to do my homemade ginger beer recipe, but I'm going to try to add like my nasturtiums and my borage, so some edible flowers from the garden, into the ginger beer to hopefully give it more of like floral notes. I also have, wait, let's back up. That's what we're doing, okay? It is Friday. I'm gonna do half of the prep today, half the prep tomorrow, and then the market is Sunday after church at like 12:30 p.m. So it'll be like a lunch style. I'm gonna make some food items, which, let's break that down. I always recommend making a little list when you go to host for each day, because I think the prep today should only take 2 hours or so. Tomorrow, same. And then Sunday morning, I just need to assemble like the cakes and the sandwiches, so an hour. So it doesn't take like 3 full days of prep, but it's nice to break it up so you don't have so much to do the day of hosting and then you're like frantic hosting your friends and family. So today I've already set up the basics, which I'll show you in a minute. I guess the layout, not the basics, the layout. And then also I made the banner last night, so I just hung that up. And the vases I'm gonna go to the farmer's market tomorrow to grab some fresh floral bouquets, so I'll put those in the vases. I have some woven baskets that I turned upside down so that they can be used almost as shelves for some of the products. I also got like fresh asparagus and kale, and I think we're gonna go pick some zucchini from the garden. And then I just filled a basket with lemons so we can make it look like an actual farmer's market vibe. I was gonna go for a Southwest cowboy vibe or theme. I was just like, it's not fitting. Like it's a sunny day market. It needs to have some veggies and some fruit and feel like you're at the farmer's market, because it's what we're doing. We have the setup halfway done. I want to make some homemade sweet tea. One of my friends, she made homemade banana coffee syrup and then homemade toasted coconut syrup. And last night she brought over a toasted coconut cake made with the leftover toasted coconut, and it was mwah, delicious, literally so good. So I'm very excited for that. And then I think she's also gonna make some cold brews, so I think the sweet tea will just help like be a lighter refreshment because we'll have her coffee. I'm gonna make my ginger beer, and then I'm gonna prep for tomorrow. So we're gonna make, I have my elderflower bush is producing elderflowers, and so we're gonna make a syrup with that, which is supposed to sit for, I think it's called cordial is the technical name, and it's supposed to sit for like 2 to 3 days, but we're just gonna let it sit overnight. I'm gonna make a homemade raspberry rhubarb jam that I made for my friend's engagement cake last week, and then a banana custard for one of the cakes, and then I'm also gonna go ahead and make the focaccia dough. That's for today's list. So it's pretty easy. The cakes are really fun. So because my friend's making a banana coffee syrup and a toasted coconut coffee syrup, I wanted to complement that and make a banana coconut cake. But I'm gonna do all mini cakes, so I'm gonna use my muffin tin and hope that they turn out good. The banana coconut cake will have like a cream cheese coconut frosting on top, and in the center will be a banana custard. For a more lighter springy cake, I'm gonna do an elderflower cake. So I'm gonna do a kind of a basic vanilla almond cake. Then I'm going to have it semi-soak, like really quickly dip it in the elderflower syrup, and then coat it with sugar, put a elderflower syrup buttercream on top, and then the raspberry rhubarb jam dollop in the center, and then decorate it with borage. I'm very excited. That literally came to me in a dream, and I was like, we were at the beach last weekend, and it's all I could think about making, because we left and I saw my elderflowers blooming, and then I was like, what can I make with them? And this is it. So yeah, let's get to it. I think I just ran into a spider web. Oh boy. I've noticed that bees really love the color blue because anytime I wear, first off, my borage is the most beneficial pollinator in my garden. Like the bees are so attracted to it. And then anytime I wear like a blue sweater or shirt out here, the bees are hovering me too. So I think bees really do love the color blue. Ooh, I'm losing so many flowers. So to make the elderflower syrup, we're going to add the zest of 1 lemon and the juice of 1 lemon. This is really going to help bring out all those floral notes in the elderflower. I was initially going to do lemon curd instead of a raspberry rhubarb jam, but the banana custard is going to be yellow, so they're going to look so similar. So I was like, we need to play up some colors, add a little more visual texture to the cakes. Making a mess per usual. So with elderflowers, you only really want the flower itself. You don't want any bit of the stem or the leaf because it can technically be toxic. So we're just gonna try to pull off the very tips of the florals. They don't have much of a strong scent. Not very strong. I was expecting it to be a lot stronger. So see, we're kind of leaving like the vertebrae of the stems. We don't need them. We just need the floral tip. So my little secret recipe, I guess, for sweet tea is typically sweet tea is just black tea, sugar, and then I like to add lemon juice at the end or even like fresh mint leaves. But my little secret sauce is my mom got this chamomile lavender loose leaf tea like a year ago, and it's so good. I love having this at night with some milk and honey. But I've recently, the past few months, been putting just a little bit into my sweet teas, and it just adds a perfect little bit of floral notes, and it's just so good. And it's very calming and relaxing. I also don't add as much sugar, I guess a typical southern sweet tea recipe would have, so a little less sweet, and so I think this complements that. Don't break. And then I just strain it out later. Now we're gonna move on to the homemade ginger beer, which I measured my 8 cups of water. Nah, this is just gonna spill. We just gotta crush it. Ah! Okay, not terrible. Not terrible at all. Add a little more. Alright, now we need our sugar. So ginger beer is non-alcoholic. It's, I guess in a way, kind of like kombucha because you're going to use a fermented ginger bug, which is just water, sugar, and fresh ginger. And so the fresh ginger and the water together carbonate each other and create a carbonated drink that is very gingery. You can buy it at the store, but it's so fun to make at home. If you can do sour disorder, you can easily do ginger bug or ginger beer. And then you can just have carbonated homemade ginger beer whenever you want. I need a slice of ginger though. I picked up a whole bunch of it. I'm about to drop it. A bunch of it yesterday. We brought the ginger beer to a boil, so now it needs to cool down before we can add our lemon juice and our ginger bug. The sweet tea is done. We're just gonna let that cool down and continue brewing. Our elderflower syrup is done. We're gonna let that cool down before we transfer it to a glass container. All our heat things, for the most part, are done. So now we're working on the banana custard, which I've never made before, but I've made custard so many times. I was like, if this turns out, this is gonna be really fun. If it doesn't, you know, it's a learning lesson. There's no failures in the kitchen, only learning lessons of how to do it better next time. I do not think I have enough sugar to make. I thought I had more sugar than I did. I'm not even using a ton. I just barely had any when I checked this morning. So I think I might have to make the jam tomorrow so I can run out and get sugar later today. I might finish up the banana custard, make the focaccia dough, and then call it a day. Pretty easy. You do want the bananas smashed up very, very finely because we want the custard to be nice and smooth and not chunky, even though that could be good. But I'm gonna prefer smooth, at least for today. I did not mash up the bananas well at all, so I'm going to put it in the food processor to get it a little more smooth. Very good though. Woo. Carbonated. Good sign. So basically whatever we take out of our ginger bug, we're going to replace that with more fresh water and a little more fresh ginger. And I personally find leaving the skin on the ginger helps with the carbonation. Oh, that got in my eye. Okay, I feel like that's useless. Y'all, look how cute these turned out. I'm hoping the colors stay really vibrant and because that would be really pretty for Sunday. My ginger beer takes about 3 to 4 days to carbonate, so I feel like this will be perfect because then the girls don't have to worry about burping it for any air bubbles. Hopefully it'll be ready to drink on Sunday or Monday if they want to take it home. Oh, I did not put these on tight enough. So I'm gonna go put these as the first product to set up. Also, I finished my banana custard, but I'm not loving it. I don't know if you guys can see the color. It's kind of green, kind of gray. I'm not into it. I think maybe either the bananas oxidized or they weren't ripe enough, and then when I put them on the stovetop, it's the high heat, something. So I think I might retry this and do banana pudding, so like with gelatin. Hopefully that'll help it keep its bright yellow color because my vision was the color of lemon curd. That's why I didn't want to do lemon curd for the elderflower cakes. So I'll probably redo this tonight and then I'll update y'all in the morning. But that's it for today, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, you guys. It is Saturday, the day before the dinner party. Kind of like part 2 of the setup. So my mom and I went to the farmer's market this morning. Look at these beautiful flowers. I tried to get a variety of different ones. Apparently with these flowers, they hold liquid really well, so people like for a little whimsical moment, they'll fill them with little like drinks or mocktails. And then also I've seen people put espresso, like a shot of espresso in it. Kind of want to try that. I picked these this morning from my garden. They do naturally droop, so this is normal. And I thought it was really fun. It kind of complements the whimsicalness of our sunny day market. I picked a huge, pretty huge for an early summer harvest. I picked some of my tromboncino zucchini. This one is like 3 or 4 feet long. I probably could have picked it a little bit earlier. Oh, I also, let me show you, got a huge bushel of peaches. And I thought I was knocking that over. And I initially bought peaches to put out kind of like I did with the lemons here. And then I was like, wait, this is perfect because then we can make peach cobbler afterwards. Peach cake. I have a really fun peach cake recipe coming up. So we'll also put these out a little later on. It's been a fun morning so far. Let's see. This is really fun. I wanted to make a peach cobbler this week. And so when I saw the bushel, I was like, this is way better buy. I am a little bit scared that I might have overproofed the focaccia because I made it about noon yesterday. But I totally forgot to put it in the fridge last night. Sadie, though, because we're watching my brother and sister-in-law's dog, as you can hear her, she had to go to the bathroom at 4 a.m. So I put her in the fridge at 4 a.m. So we're just gonna hope for the best. If not, I made a like sheet pan loaf of focaccia yesterday for a sandwich. I'll just use that if I have to. I don't like the feeling of this. like you salt always. Usually I also put fresh rosemary, but for like a salted rosemary focaccia, we'll just keep it simple. In the oven she goes. Next up, we're gonna work on my sourdough wild blueberry streusel muffins. I always make these whenever I have guests over because without fail, they are soft, fluffy, and they stay moist for like 3 days. Seriously, one of the best muffins. And you're gonna use your leftover sourdough discards, which is a little bit healthier, and they're made with olive oil and yogurt. It's a perfect breakfast in my opinion. I think our focaccia might be done. Let's go check on that. Oh, that she is. Actually, yeah. Hello. So this batter does run on the thicker side. So if by chance, like I'm doing now, I just pulled my sourdough out of the fridge because I forgot I was making these muffins, I'll just add a little bit of buttermilk or warm water to help loosen it up. But it's still going to be a fairly thick batter. Don't freak out because that's what makes it perfectly moist and tender crumb. We're on the final countdown for our prep day, so now I'm making the banana coconut cakes. And I already went ahead and I mixed my 2 eggs with my ½ cup of mashed bananas. If this turns out, I'll put the recipe, on my blog for you guys. My bananas weren't fully ripe, but when you mix an egg yolk with bananas, it ripens them up, it like sweetens them because of the banana enzymes. I know this, but my brain is not thinking right now. It's processing cakes. Muffins are about to be taken out. I need to add, I'm replacing some of the milk in this with coconut milk. And then I'm also using both coconut flavoring or coconut extract for more coconut flavor and vanilla extract, which I almost spilled everywhere. Why does that look weird? And I did spill it. Okay. It's not a day in the kitchen without a mess in the kitchen, am I right? Now, add the eggs and banana. I'm also doing these as mini cakes, so I went ahead and buttered 2 6 mega muffins. Mega muffins? Giant muffins? Why is my brain not processing? Jumbo muffin pans. That's what they're called. So I went ahead and buttered those. And we're gonna use those without liners to make the cakes. Last but not least, we have a lemon, elderberry, raspberry rhubarb cakes left, which I'm really excited about these because it's my first year growing elderberry or elderflower. Is that the same bush, right? Anyways, so I'm basically taking my normal cake recipes and I'm turning them into mini cakes by making like the normal cake batter and then dividing them up in between the jumbo muffin tins, and it creates about 6 jumbo muffin tins that turn into mini cakes. I don't know, my words are all jumbled today. So what we're doing is, of course, with any lemon or any citrus cake, we're gonna rub our citrus zest and our sugar together to help release all those essential oils and aromas, and then we're done with prep, which is very exciting. And then tomorrow I'll just assemble the cakes, like put the frosting and the jam on it, assemble the sandwiches, I have like a kale, like a bunch of kale, and then asparagus bunch, a kale bunch, maybe some like extra, I don't know, veggies or something. Maybe I have a lot of fruit left over from hosting someone this week, so maybe I'll put that out. And then the girls will come over and it'll be so fun. And I think hopefully my ginger beer will be carbonated by then. It's a little carbonated. I made myself half of one so I could test the carbonation. We're almost there. I'm getting really excited. It's so cute. I'm obsessed with this idea. This baking is making my kitchen so hot, but I'm finally at the end of it. That really wasn't hard at all, like genuinely. I love baking these mini cakes because then the frosting tomorrow is gonna be so easy. I feel like making layered cakes is a little more intense, especially during the summertime when it's hot, because you have to keep putting it in the fridge so that the buttercream or Swiss meringue, whatever it is, can kind of become more stable before you continue frosting, and then you have to do a crumb layer. So these mini cakes might become my new like hosting hack. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I will see you guys in the morning. I'm gonna try to go to like my early service at church, come back, assemble focaccia sandwiches. I also am thinking I might try to make deviled eggs tonight because I was thinking about all the sweets that I have and I don't have a lot of savory. And I think the focaccia sandwiches aren't going to be massive. So I feel like I need a little savory in this. So I might make deviled eggs tonight, and then I also want to still retry the banana custard. If not, I'm just going to thinly slice bananas on top of the frosting, the coconut cream cheese buttercream frosting. I'm so excited. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, happy Sunday, and day of our sunny day market. So I got about 2 hours until the girls start showing up. So we need to make the focaccia sandwiches, we need to assemble our cakes. I'm about to make a big batch of cream cheese frosting, split it in half, add my homemade elderflower syrup to one half, and then the other half I'm gonna add coconut flavoring for the banana coconut cakes. And I think I've decided I'm just gonna thinly slice bananas on top of the frosting for that one. I also just boiled and peeled some hard-boiled eggs, or I guess they're kind of like medium. They're a little bit soft and jammy in the centers, and so I was gonna leave them that way, but I think I'm gonna double them real fast. And then my muffins are done, so I need to put those on a plate, set up some of the fresh veggies that are in the fridge, and then we're done. I'm just loving this. This is so cute. That's a lot of pesto. Guys, I feel like when it comes to the last like 30 minutes of everyone coming, I go like mute in these videos because my mind is like has a mental checklist of, okay, is this done? Is this done? Is that done? I apologize if I'm not very talkative the last little bit of prepping, but I feel like the older I get, the more I mentally cannot compartmentalize everything. But we're making the focaccia sandwiches, and then we're gonna wrap them up, and then we'll be done. So, very excited to see what everyone's bringing to the market. My mom is helping me finish wrapping up the focaccia sandwiches, and then we're all done. And so then these are gonna act as shelves for the girls' products. I have no clue what they're bringing, so this will be really exciting. I'll capture some clips for you guys. Yeah, thanks for joining along, and let's get this party started.